You've been here before. You sit down to study, your books are open, your laptop's ready, then bam, distraction hits. Whether it's your phone, wandering thoughts, or even your surroundings, something pulls you away from what you're supposed to be doing. But here's the thing, distractions are inevitable. What if I told you that the key to staying focused while studying isn't about eliminating distractions, but rather managing them strategically? In today's video, we'll be breaking down actionable, science-backed strategies to help you beat distractions and focus on what you need to do. We're covering everything from how your brain works to the best study techniques to supercharge your focus and understanding. And by the end, you'll have a system to absorb information faster and study more efficiently. Let's jump in. Number 1, the importance of routine. It's important to get the basic building blocks down as a foundation for success. So let's start with something fundamental, routine. You see, your brain loves patterns. It craves predictability. This is why having a regular study routine can make all the difference. And it can be one of the most powerful tools in avoiding distractions. When you establish a set routine, you train your brain to expect certain activities at certain times. And when your brain knows it's study time, there will be less resistance to getting focused. Whether you work best in the morning, afternoon, or evening, the time itself matters less than sticking to a set routine. Maybe every Tuesday morning, you go to the library to get a few hours of reading under your belt. Or maybe you love the low light of the evening to settle into some study time. Over time, your brain will become accustomed to this schedule, making it easier to settle into deep focus. Additionally, it's not just about when you study, it's also about where. Having a designated study space, free from distractions, signals to your brain that this is a place for work. When you study in different places, like in bed or at the kitchen table, your brain can associate these spaces with other activities, which in turn makes it easier to get distracted. So why not try to set a study routine at a similar time and place? Because the truth is, routine builds momentum, and momentum beats distraction every time. Number 2, the science of positive distractions. Now, let's zoom in and talk about how your brain handles distractions. Distractions are usually considered bad, and many distractions can be detrimental to our focus and productivity. However, here's something you might not have considered. Good distractions exist too. In fact, your brain needs some distractions to perform at its best. When you push your brain too hard without breaks, it gets overwhelmed, and that's when the negative distractions start to sneak in. But here's where positive distractions can help. Positive distractions are short, intentional activities, like a 5-minute walk or a deep breathing exercise, that help reset your focus by releasing dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. Another form of positive distraction is zoning out. Now, it might seem counterintuitive, but allowing your mind to wander can be beneficial to your brain when you're struggling to focus. In fact, psychologists have found that we spend around 50% of our time daydreaming. It's a key part of the way our brain functions. Focus requires a network of different brain regions to work hard and use energy, which is why it's so important to have those downtimes too. The most productive people give themselves downtime for their mind to wander and daydream rather than always asking it to focus and experiencing burnout and distraction at the worst times. So instead of reaching for your phone and scrolling through social media, the next time you feel distracted, try going for a walk or daydreaming a little. This will give your brain the mental break it needs while still keeping you on track. Number 3, boost your motivation and gamify your work. Let's talk about motivation. Now, we get it. Sometimes you just don't want to do the thing that you need to do. Studying, although necessary, can be really dull at times. Even the most captivating subjects can sometimes make it tough for you to find the motivation to dive in. So, how can you stay motivated and avoid distractions even when motivation is low? Gamify your study sessions. The human brain loves games. We are wired to seek out rewards, challenges, and progress. So turn your study sessions into a game. Break your tasks into small chunks and reward yourself each time you complete one. For example, you can use a simple checklist and give yourself points for every task you complete. If you're a visual person, why not create a physical way of showing your progress? A bar filling up, a tree growing, a small version of yourself climbing up a mountain? At the end of each session, reward yourself with a small break, snack, or something else you enjoy. These little rewards trigger dopamine, keeping your motivation high and making it easier to stay focused. It's easier to stay focused the more you'll be able to do, and the more momentum you'll get to keep studying. Number 4, flashcards, but better. Flashcards and self-testing are popular study tools, but here's a twist that'll make you an expert in anything you study. Instead of just using flashcards to memorize facts, use them to test conceptual understanding. So usually you might write a question on the flashcard that requires one fact as an answer. But try instead to write questions that require you to explain the concept in your own words. For example, instead of "What is the capital of France?" you could instead write, "Why is Paris the capital of France? And what historical significance does this have?" This forces you to think critically and develop a deeper understanding of the material, which in turn will help with long-term retention. Plus, it's a great way to prepare for essay questions or exams that require more than memorizing facts. By transforming your flashcards from simple Q&A into deeper discussions, you're ensuring that you truly understand the material, which makes it easier to recall when you need it most. Work smarter, not harder. Number 5, the Feynman Technique, one of the most powerful study techniques you can use. Named after the successful physicist Richard Feynman, this technique is all about teaching you what you've learned in the simplest terms possible. And when you're teaching what you've learned to someone else, distraction isn't even on your radar. Here's how it works. Step 1, pick a concept you're studying. Step 2, teach this concept out loud using the simplest language that you can, as if you were explaining it to a 5-year-old. Step 3, if you get stuck or find you can't explain something clearly, go back and review your material. Step 4, once you can explain the concept in the simplest terms, you've mastered it. The Feynman technique helps to identify gaps in your knowledge and makes studying more engaging and interactive. More interactive means more focus, and most importantly, less distraction. Try this technique the next time you're studying, either on your own or in a group. You'll be an expert in your subject in no time. Putting it all together. Beating distractions and focusing while studying can feel like a losing battle, but it doesn't have to feel that way. By building the right foundation, you can start to be the most dialed in and productive version of yourself. So let's recap. 1. Build a constant routine to train your brain to focus at the right place and time. 2. Use positive distractions to reset your focus and avoid negative distractions. 3. Gamify your work to stay motivated. 4. Use flashcards to deepen your understanding of concepts, not just memorize facts. 5. And finally, use the Feynman technique to simplify and truly master your study material. With these strategies, you'll not only study more effectively, you'll actually start to enjoy the process. And as they say, it's not about working harder, but working smarter. Let us know which technique you're going to try first in the comments down below, or why not share your own? And don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. Until next time, folks, stay tuned.